Well, how have you been?
Good, man. It's been busy. It's been a busy month. September, I feel like, just flew by.
Yeah.
Like, the second Labor Day hit, it was just nonstop stuff throughout the week. All the weekends, we were out camping with the family, trying to get the last little bit – get out of here, fly. Last little bit of summer going.
I feel like that's a good thing because otherwise, if September is long, then you're just waiting for October 1, which is, for whoever isn't from Michigan, opening day for bow season, which is a big deal.
It did. It kept the mind off of hunting a little bit, but at the same time, I wanted to keep my mind on hunting just because it's hunting. But, yeah, now that we're starting to get a lot closer, things are starting to seem a little bit more real. It's starting to cool off just a little bit more. You're starting to see your breath in the morning.
Yep.
It smells like fall a little bit. Like the tree across the street actually started shedding some of its leaves.
Yeah, you'll love to see it. Swampy areas are full red.
Yeah.
You go up north, and they're like, it's like, end of October there looking.
Did you notice my Jägermeister hat I got on?
I like that. I was meaning to ask, where did you get that from?
So I went into the liquor shop to pick up some burb.
Mm-hmm.
But they had a rep there from Jaeger with
3 shots of Jaeger.
Excuse me.
Couple of bong hits.
Like their new cold brew Jaeger.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much coffee flavored Jaeger.
How was it?
Awful.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good. I was going to say it sounds bad.
If you've ever had Jaeger, or if you haven't had Jaeger, it pretty much tastes like black licorice.
Yeah.
It's one of the worst things
I
imaginable.
liked when I used to drink Jaeger. I liked it.
I'd never did.
Were you a schnapps guy?
No.
What about peppermint? Remember that?
I would never did that.
When Jared and I were age, I won't give the exact age, we obtained a bottle of
peppermint schnapps.
I
was not around for this night.
You were not there?
I was not. It was you and Dan.
We decided that we wanted to save it, but we couldn't, let anybody find it for various reasons. And so we decided to bury it and never found it again.
There had been multiple adventures trying to trace our steps of, okay, I'm pretty sure it's like 2 feet off the deck right by this rock. I remember that rock for some reason.
Here's the weirdest thing, though. Peppermint schnapps tree grew.
Did it?
Yeah, it was amazing.
The new great thing.
Well,
tree.
Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about we can cover my bear hunt that I did in September. I want to talk about some of our approach to this year. Before I do, though, I want to let's just say this. It takes a big man to admit that he's wrong. And I am that big man. All right?
Okay.
Do you see what this is?
It's a lot of 550 cord attached to like a carabiner.
Several carabiners.
And it looks like a hero clip.
A hero clip. And
I know what this is.
What is it?
Is it one of my tree straps?
It's one of your tree straps. So this is, and you can go on our YouTube to see how you do it.
That is a mess, by the way.
No, look at this. For a couple things I did.
Is that duct tape wrapped?
So I like to have extra duct tape.
Why?
Sorry. Duct tape. Sometimes I literally just had it in the woods when I was bear hunting. I needed tape. And I used at my spool. I'm like, I would love to have something that's accessible. So literally, not only does this keep it quiet, I can just peel off duct tape off my carabiner, for one.
Okay.
For two, check out that. My hero clip is loud. If you use it, it clicks a lot. Don't open that. I was supposed to tape that closed. Anyways,
loud.
I know I don't ever do that. My point is when I hang my bow on my hero clip, it's plasticky. So I 550 corded it to have cord, but I went with the lighter option rather than straps. I went with your DIY bow hanger, public land bow hanger.
I like it.
That I previously said was it was
dud?
cool, but I would never do it. So I've got one strap. This is for my bow. Binos. I like to take them off and hang them. This is for my backpack. Simple, light, fits right in your pocket, and I just keep it all together. And it was really, I looked up your video for how to do it today. I watched you today, yeah.
That's a good.
And in doing so, was late to a meeting that I really should not have been late for, which I'm not proud to say, but I do have, the ultimate mobile
Looking
solution
at that,
now.
I'm very impressed that you were able to watch the video and actually make one pretty quick. And actually, a lot of people have watched it, and actually
We get a lot of comments on that one.
A lot of good people saying how much they like it, but that just looks really messy.
But
But the main reason is because
of this kind of stuff.
Not necessarily. You still have all those little precinct knots that you can slide around on that main cord.
Yeah.
But I use all of my S hooks and clips
For carrying your sticks.
to carry my sticks up on my side.
Yeah.
right? So I only really need 2. I need my hero clip, which I just hang off the back, which usually my platform hangs off of. So I'll put my hero clip towards the small of my back.
Yep.
And then the platform kind of just dangles by my butt. And then I'll use the other 2 S hooks, one on each side, for one for each tree strap.
See, I do the same thing.
Or step.
I do the same thing.
And then I can use them once I get up there, rather than having that big bundle in your pocket.
My only thing is,
I'm trying to have every piece that I have as a multi-purpose, serving multiple purposes.
I can see it, and
You know what I mean?
I thought about it because that's what you talked about in your video. I'm like, well, I do have, but I have extra, and then I'm like, well, then I can always leave stuff attached to my hip. I always just leave the clips attached to my hip belt, and I have another pair here, which doubles up, but at the same time, maybe it gives me variability if I don't know. So, anyways, all that to say is I'm going to use this in a couple days.
Yeah,
I'm excited. This weekend. So, but I want to talk about that. Before I do, I want to recap a little. I've been hunting.
You did.
I spent a week hunting. We did a little story about it on Instagram, and actually, you can, if you want to rewatch it. I think we each have profiles in those highlighted. What are those, spotlights or something? Stories,
yeah, something like that.
You can watch, my time there. Basically, needless to say, I spent 4 or 5 years getting points to go hunting in the Baraga unit in Michigan.
Where's that again?
So think of the UP. If you're watching, it's up here by my thumb. But if you're looking,
thumb.
it's as far north as you can go. The unit as far north as you can go in Michigan. So I went and stayed in Copper Harbor, which is the very tip. And I'd done that because my grandma was born and raised there until she was like early teens. So I wanted to go with my great-grandma. Yep. So I wanted to go there, do that. I brought my wife and my daughter because, usually you bow hunt or you hunt for bears, noon till dark. So the morning we would, hang out and we'd go do stuff. So, we toured the cities, we did copper mine stuff, and then I'd go hunt for the night for 8 hours at a time, which is like I'm not used to doing that in September, going sitting in a tree for 8 hours like it's the rut. But I went out. I had a guy that I found bait for me, and I didn't see a bear the entire time. A lot of hours spent sitting out, and I didn't see a single freaking bear. I've been telling people, I saw a bunch of squirrels and chipmunks getting diabetes from the bear bait.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they literally ate all day.
Donuts, candy, bread.
Yeah, candy corn was a big one. And then, but anyway, so we'd put out bait. No bears would show up, or they'd show up at night. We kept getting them at night. What I think was happening, and I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong, but they got used to being baited every day. So somebody comes in, throws bait, walks away. That bait is there. It's kind of like an all-you-can-eat buffet. Why not wait till it's dark? And they would do that. What we switched to doing, and I think we switched too late, is you put a little bait, you bring bait out, but you bring it back with you at the end of the night. So the bear only goes in during daylight. Because basically when you bring the bait out, you're definitely within the area of the bear. Like, he knows you're there, she knows you're there. And you do various things to make sure she knows you're there. Which, what I've read and what my guy there started to do when I reminded him to do it was basically you hit your bucket, you tap the side of it. So it's like your dinner bell. So he's like, all right, they just dropped off bait. But he didn't remember to do that. Anyways,
idiot.
So, I would sit out but we started to take our bait back with us, but it was on the last day of a hunt. So it's like, it doesn't really do me any good. But the bait was gone. Even, the trail camera that we had out, he didn't turn on. So I don't even know what
hate to see.
It was not a great experience. I spent the last, couple weeks trying to find, somebody with dogs that I could go back up. Found one guy that was able to take me last weekend. It was a last minute, and it was expensive for basically 2 days of hunting, but because it takes 10 hours, just under 10 hours from Grand Rapids to get to Copper Harbor, which is we have a huge state, second longest state to drive through behind Texas, or Texas, I think it was. Somebody was telling me some fact about that.
California?
Apparently not. Which that's what I said. California's nice and long.
The thing's just like a long cucumber. The state of it.
Yeah, I know that.
You know what I mean?
I've been there.
Good long.
All I know is that's what I heard. I could be wrong. Anyways, so that was my bear hunt. So I've warmed up. I've sat out. I had that first sit where.
That's right. You were texting me pictures.
It was It was kind of weird.
I'm surprised that they didn't have some like bougie shack, like just elevated platform recliner.
He had one.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Saved it for his good clients.
Well, he had one, but it was
You're
set
using
up.
that stick bow.
Yeah.
He's
that
like,
was why.
Get out of here, dude.
Well,
go sit on the ground.
He sets up this double blind or double tree stand, which was 30 some yards from the bait.
Okay.
I'm like, hey man, I got my recurve. I'm not gonna shoot that. I'm not gonna take that shot on a bear. So the first night I sat on the ground, I brushed in. The winds shifted the next day, so I kind of went to the other side of the bait pile, and I was in the saddle the rest of the time. I used that Wingman.
How was it?
The best.
Pretty sweet.
I like their EDP platform. I like the Mission, but I like this one better. I only bring 3 sticks, and then I use that.
As your 4 stick.
So it's lighter, and it's easier. It was comfy, and it's only like I don't know. It's not a big platform.
No.
So I perched on that, and it like I said, I spent 20 hours on it at least. And
I was gonna say,
had no
where
problem.
is it? And it's like, oh, it's right here in my bag.
Yeah, you're gonna like that. I would highly recommend the
right
that Hangman.
there, that one.
Oh yeah, you can see even
Just
in the
corner
picture.
of it.
So anyways, I feel like I got like that first sit out of the way where you kind of get there, you feel like you don't know where your stuff is. It went smooth. We did a photo shoot, which I know sounds lame, but we did like a practice run, getting our stuff set up, and that was helpful. Like I climbed up much faster. Things were quiet. I was feeling good. So going into this weekend, my confidence is high.
Good. It's a good thing to have, especially, for those of you kind of just starting out in the saddle game. We can't say it enough that if you are starting out, do a couple test runs and figure out like what works, what doesn't work, what do I need to do, how much time is it going to be able to get up there? Because it's a new process. I guess it's kind of similar to hanging like a hang and hunt tree stand. Yeah. Where you're hanging your tree steps up.
But there's a lot more little bits of knowledge you need. Like I feel like saddle hunting has made me more like DIY. Kind of figure it out. Everybody's got a system. We were just looking at these ropes. You've got rope mods. You've got silencing your stuff.
How you gonna get your sticks up with you along with everything else?
Yeah, some guys like throw them on their backpack. We hang them, which I think is superior.
Genius, by the way.
So, anyways, no, it's good to do that, and it's a good segue into the other thing that we wanted to talk about today. We have an interesting deer season because both of us, for various reasons, have not been able to scout the places we're hunting this year.
That's right.
Which is first for us. I had one camera out. That's it. I've only put one out, and the card failed.
Mine's over there.
So I picked up a cell cam because I'm not doing that again. I'm going to try a cell camera, even though the Altmans would roll over in their graves, even though they're not buried yet. And I'm going to throw one of those out and see how that works. But, yeah, so we're going into the season blind. And so I want to talk a little bit about what do you do when that's your case? Because there's been guys actually writing us in asking us about it. I just was messaging a guy today who must have seen a story of ours. He's like, I feel like I'm hunting out of state all season because I'm going into an area I have no background or I haven't been able to scout because of various life things and and so I figured we'd talk a little bit about how we're going to handle that this year because that's different for us too.
Yeah, so I guess I'll tell you my approach, and you can base it off however you want to. But to me, having that data from last year is going to help out enormously. So you and I went and scouted that one spot south of here.
Yeah, last year
in the Yankee Springs area, and
we walked it middle of the season. Just walked it with bows, just like let's figure it out for next year.
Yep, and I had hunted there a couple times, didn't see anything tall. Saw a ton of other hunter sign. Yeah. But I found a couple decent buck beds. Some good. What are you smiling for?
I'm remembering that was a good, like in that swampy area.
Yeah.
Real swamp.
Yes, man. That was.
It's like you kind of need a boat, but you kind of need you have waders, right?
Yeah, I got some
weight
out
there.
Yeah. And you just mark spots that. Maybe you can get to them the next weekend or the following hunting season or just those spots like, oh, man, I really got to check this spot back out again. So
put a pin in it.
Put a pin in it on your maps.
Huntwise.
We use Huntwise. You can use whatever. So I have those spots pinned down, and I at least know some sort of direction on the area. And that's one of my spots.
Yeah.
I'm going to go there probably Saturday night. And
that rain, do you see how much rain we're going to be getting?
Is it coming this weekend? I didn't even look. That's how much I'm just out of it.
I just saw it today. That's exciting for me. Rain and like low 50s for where I'm headed. That is good for public. Well, you get in sneaky. It weeds out. A lot of guys don't hunt in the rain.
True.
You know, you can get in, it washes scent away, so you can just kind of not worry so much about it. Should be cool.
Yes, but back to where we're talking about.
Sorry, yep.
Using what you know already. Use the stuff. I mean, did the guy say he knew where he was going? Did he have an idea or? He
said, what did he say? Is maybe, because have you picked out your first spot yet? Your first sit? It was like a poll. He said, is maybe an option. I'm like, maybe is how Jared and I feel until we're walking out to our stand. We don't really know where we're headed yet a lot of the time.
Honestly, man, if you don't have any intel on an area and you're going in blind, then expect to go in blind. Expect it to be a huge bust.
Yeah.
Right? Don't go in there expecting, I'm going to find so much sign and then I'm going to shoot a monster buck. It's like, it's probably not going to happen.
Well,
but you just use your knowledge. Use what you know. Like, if you can find a food source, great. If you know where one is, even better. If you can find a bedding area, you know what to do. Set up in between. But you're also going to have to look for sign. If there's no sign there and you're seeing a bunch of human sign and zero deer sign, your night's probably burnt. You know, well, it's just one of those odds. You're just gonna have to. It's just one of those things you got to take. And in my eyes, that's what happens.
I think my issue, something I could be doing better, is that every year, I think of each hunt as its own hunt, and that means everything goes into being successful in this 1 minute, this one period of time, and then that's like its own isolated thing. If you think of your hunting season as ongoing, it's different. Right? Think of your hunts as an ongoing hunt. So you use every time. You don't even need to be – every time you're in the woods can contribute to your success. If you're looking for sign, looking for learning from a different area, even just learning how deer move in the woods, you can use it as building a house by the end of the season that hopefully that house is you shooting a deer. But I feel like I fall into the trap of, all right, well, I didn't see anything. What a bust, you know. Whereas really it's like, all right, so I got intel here about this, how things are working here. How can I apply it here? Or maybe how do I move 200 yards and find success? And it's like, well, you have a whole hunting season to figure that out. And the way that I've seen that play out poorly for me is that I'll go in right into a spot I don't know anything about and jump in. And sometimes that's okay to do. But sometimes if you look at it and you think, all right, well, I'm going to hang back, see what's happening, and then move in another sit, you can combine those hunts and actually use it to be more successful. Like you work your way into a hunt. Lots of people talk about like observation sits.
Yeah.
I think that is a great way to build some information and, again, not treat it as a one-off event every time you go out, but as contributing to your overall success for the year, which is, I think, more important.
I would agree with that.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, I
thought of that in the shower. I did.
Don't.
I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, that's it right there.
It's just like the old saying goes, how you eat an elephant?
One bite at a
time.
And just
one hunt at a time.
Put your work in. And so that's how I plan on doing it. That being said, I have two spots that are some of my favorite spots that I'm jumping right into. I don't have any intel.
That just took your strategy and went,
yeah, well, the thing is, though, going back to what you said, I have some historical information about it. I've seen deer. I know where deer go into these areas. I don't know about this year, but I know how they move in these two areas, one in around here and one up north. One I found, beds recently when I was pulling my trail camera, and one I've seen deer every time I've set out there. So
yeah.
Other than that, though, there's a ton of new spots that I'll be hunting where I'll probably almost still hunt a lot of times, where I'll go into an area where I can see a bit and where I think deer will move through, and I'll just kind of pack light and just kind of work my way through real slow, a couple steps every few minutes and just learn. And when I see where deer go, I let it get dark, I back out, and then the next time I know kind of where to set up. And that's how I plan on approaching it. A lot more mobile, a lot more time spent still hunting, which is something that I love to do. I just haven't done enough of it, and especially with the compound bow this year. I feel like that'll open up my range to be able to do that more successfully too.
Sounds like we have two kind of conflicting strategies. I
How
would like to put it to a test.
How so?
Well, you're more of the, observation sit. I'm not going to bust anything up.
I want to see what's going.
I want to get
in
on
and
and move in, which could be the smart idea. To me, I don't know.
What's you?
Might just go in. Go in hard, charging.
No.
Figure it out. Come back out. It's like, I don't know.
But if you blow it up, I mean, you got lots of public. That's the thing with public land.
Speed scout it. Get back out.
I'm for speed scouting. I'm with you there for sure. And I think that's what I think I'll do more of my hunts that way is what I'm saying. Like more of my hunts will almost be like you're just checking out the area. You're not expecting to go shoot a monster, buck this time, but maybe you will. You're going to try, obviously. So anyways, it's a weird year. We're going to throw out some cell cameras to try that too. Might as well, if you see a good spot, throw up a camera and just see. We have heard conflicting reports about how it's super successful or cell cameras are the worst and they actually scare deer away. But we are going to learn the hard way.
We like learning the hard way.
We're going to
failure's the best teacher.
And if it's successful, it's like, man, I get a picture on my phone. They're showing up at the same time every night. I'm headed out there.
Bingo.
So, I don't know. That's where we're headed. We're headed into when this podcast comes out, the next day will be opening day.
Oh.
So this is our last one before things get real. And I don't know. Do you have any for people who are listening to this going into opening day? What are your words of wisdom that you want to share with the masses?
I was gonna say aim high, play the wind. But
aim high, play the wind. That's our motto.
The
fair chase. Aim high, play the
wind. God, one good piece of advice for this year. Don't put all your apples in one basket.
I think it's eggs or apples. I'm
doing apples.
Okay.
Be willing to try something new and go all out at it.
Ooh, pretty generic though. Could you get more specific? That's pretty generic. You could apply that to anything. Playing basketball.
Fine. All right, hold on.
No, that's good. You can just narrow it down. It's good information.
No, I might change it up. You go first, and then maybe I'll decide something.
I'll
different.
go. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
That's right.
All right, that's equally vague. No, but like I said, my advice would be to treat every hunt as contributing and working with other hunts to build up a body of knowledge and to build up towards success. So every hunt is connected to every hunt. Learn something, either general things about how deer move in the woods or woodsmanship skills, or learn about that area to start checking areas off. All right, deer aren't here, they're moving here. Use it as they all contribute to success. It doesn't have to happen right away. That's mine.
Okay. I got one.
All right.
Pick one thing that you want to try to focus on and really get good at it this year. Whether that's stealth, like making sure everything's real quiet, you're sneaking in real good, sneaking out, or
scent,
if you want to try out scent control. Because like you're saying, everything is going to compound on each other. Like, lay a good building block for that next hunt or that next season. Like, if you can get really good at getting your gear ready to go and you're out of the truck or the car and packed up, ready to go in like 3 minutes.
Up a tree in like 5 minutes.
Focus on that for like a whole year. You're going to be good.
Yeah.
Or focus on just reading sign. Like, be very attentive on what type of sign this is. Is it fresh? How old is it? Is it a couple days old? Is it a couple hours old? Like, do some reading. Find some articles online and just be really attentive with that.
We've got a bunch of articles, too.
Yeah.
We should probably do some more on reading sign.
I'm just saying.
We should probably put it out for the people.
Might not be bad. I don't hate the idea.
Not a bad
but
idea.
What I'm saying is, like, set a goal and just stick to that and just try to perfect it if you can. That's mine.
I appreciate everybody listening to our nonsense for the last half an hour. Good luck this year. For you, those of you out west, hopefully you put a bull or a buck or boar down for boar bear.
But bingo.
If you're going hunting this weekend, good luck. Send us pictures. Keep us posted on how you're doing. If you want to hear certain things, let us know. We've got some good guests lined up. We're excited to keep rolling the podcast.
Good luck, everybody.
We'll see you.